This FM 104.3. Good to meet you.
Say, Yama Bank of Ghana Governor Ora Dr. Addison and 2 deputy governors. Yomo now 21 days. I'm for my Juman tour. What you saying? What's it?
And I pay breakfast here is very hard.
Add them, and then a good breakfast pa.
Before the minority made their statement, I had held a similar view way back. I have a soft side towards the governors, the 2 deputy governors. In terms of competence, professional experience, they qualify. But a number of things have happened for which, from professional point of view, they fell short.
Just a woman so many majuma. And so near maybe what would you say your back majuma musani atiena and tray.
And tray. The Americans are the central bank is a national institution. If you look at the losses the central bank has incurred or booked, it's unprecedented.
Prof Bokpin suka kramai.
So, also the losses the central bank has incurred is unprecedented.
Okay.
It will take us years to recover. The central bank is the lender of last resort. Bank of Ghana, they overexpose themselves to the government. Let me put it this way. A couple of years ago, or maybe the past 2.5 years, if you listen to the governor of the central bank, after their monetary policy committee meetings and all of that, you get the sense that the governor of the central bank is not happy the way the fiscal side is being managed. And the fiscal side, we are talking about revenue generation, expenditure. And because of that, it was undermining the effectiveness of their work. This is not peculiar. It is not peculiar to only this administration. Hello.
I
want to give a little bit of historical perspective. So that we are able to take the politics out of it and see the common good, the nation at the center of it. We started monetary inflation targeting under Dr. Paul Akwa. Unofficially, yes, shall see from March 2002.
March 2002.
Unofficially, what we call inflation targeting. The monetary policy framework, Central Bank, Bank of Ghana, AU. Unofficially, yes, shall see from March 2002. Officially, no, yes, shall see 2007. All right. For inflation targeting to be effective, there's one key condition, which is fiscal discipline. Fiscal discipline. Meanwhile, that fiscal discipline is outside the control of the central bank. The politicians.
And a fiscal discipline.
Yes, they have to ensure that fiscal discipline. It's from the Ministry of Finance, essentially the executive. Without that, without fiscal discipline, it will almost be impossible, or it will be very difficult to deploy monetary policy effectively to bring down inflation and to engineer growth. You see where our inflation is?
Over 40.
42.5%. Now, from 2011 heading to 2012, we saw fiscal indiscipline showing up strongly, especially in the run-up to 2012 election. At that time, the Bank of Ghana Act empowers the central bank to do what we call deficit financing. When the government spends more than its revenue, the difference has to be financed. Either they finance the difference by borrowing from the domestic market, or issue treasury bill and a bond, or they finance that from the international capital market, like Euro bonds, or a combination. In addition, the central bank can decide, say, which is equivalent to fiscally printing more of your currency to finance government activities.
And count the inflation, Nebano.
Account, but at a certain point, the inflationary effect, and yes, strong. And in the wisdom of Parliament, they pegged this at 10% of government's previous year's fiscal revenue. 10%. Say, buying increases salaries. If they increase it beyond a certain point, it has inflationary effect. We call that one wage inflation. But if it's within a certain point, that effect combined with other variables in the economy, like productivity, the effect is not that strong. And the deficit of a certain level may not cause so much inflationary pressures, especially if the productive side of the economy is responding, and we are focusing attention on that in terms of the supply side, the bottlenecks, the structural bottlenecks, it may not create that much of a problem. But, Master, this is Ghana's problem. In 2012, instead of the 10%, the central bank did more than 40%.
I see.
In 2013, they did more than 30%. And I'm just giving you a background.
Yeah.
This was one of the reasons why, when Ghana went to the IMF, our 16th IMF-supported program, I shall say free, April 3rd, 2015 to April 2019, one of the objectives was to eliminate fiscal dominance of monetary policy. What do you program now? Essentially to solve this problem. You don't work one day. So how did IMF solve that? They then said that let's set aside our law. Let's set aside the provision in the Bank of Ghana Act. Let's rather respect an MOU. So we suspended the Bank of Ghana practically, and then decided to comply with an MOU with the IMF. Zero finance. Any friend is zero financing. We did that. So inflation came down, all the variables trended downward. Then something happened again. Towards the third quarter of 2021, when the government lost market assets. In the third quarter of 2021, the Minister of Finance had gone to the international capital market to go and borrow. And the market rejected us because the fiscal vulnerabilities were clear from that. Actually, from the third quarter of 2021, our posture changed in terms of our comments that we were heading dangerously. And we started prompting government that you needed to reach out to the IMF quickly, because where you found yourself, you had lost credibility from the international market.
That's third quarter 2021.
Yes.
That time no saying call IMF.
We should have made that call at that time. That was the optimal time. That was the best time. Senka ye call IMF at that time now, we wouldn't have been in this situation.
Okay.
I'm not saying that the IMF is the entire solution to our problems.
But
they have their limitations. We have reservations about their work. We can talk about that some other day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, back no. our solution was that if we were able to increase revenue, these concerns of the investors will be solved. And they introduced a key revenue handle in the 2022 budget, which was presented in November 2021. What was that key revenue handle? E-levy. So government felt that E-levy will be able to rake in the much needed revenue and then create a special purpose vehicle and then ring-fence the E-levy inflows on the balance sheet of that special purpose vehicle so that on the strength of that balance sheet, they could go and borrow. Problem solved. But E-levy didn't work. I myself, I didn't support it. Not that I am whatever, but I didn't support it because I felt that it was inappropriate. It was inappropriate. And I still don't support E-levy.
Okay.
I still don't support E-levy. Okay. So they did all of that, but E-levy didn't work. So the fiscal vulnerability, debt unsustainability, became more entrenched, unsettling investors. Remember, we had lost market access from the Eurobond market.
Yes.
Then also in the domestic market, the government was being priced out. So the government lost market access also in the domestic market in what we call the medium to the long-term end. Bonds issued by government were no longer attractive. Is
it because they feel confidence was not in the economy? What was any issue? And then the matter didn't.
Confidence in the economy has been wounded. Faith in the government has been pierced.
This FM 104.3. Who to me,